Heck yeah.
There we are. We're live a minute early.
I know. And even though, well, to be fair, we're running an hour late.
So that's okay. Yeah, that's
So
true. All
there's a
right,
little more time to prepare.
man. We're only 59 minutes late. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Ah,
What's going on, brother?
just living that life right now. It's work has just gotten nuts. I'm even at the point
Yeah.
where I'm starting to have to work on weekends. Not liking that. It's a rough one, but hey, what about you?
I don't even want to get started on work.
I bet you
Um,
don't. Yeah.
I don't even want to get started, but life is good. Life is good. I can't complain.
Excellent. How was your
Checking out
holiday?
this. It was good. Well, it was okay, actually. It was okay. We had a bunch of the flu going around.
Yeah.
So it was a little less festive than usual. I was actually the only person, knock on wood, in my family that did not get sick.
Heck yeah. Small
And
wins. Small
right,
wins.
right. Right. But the games are good. The games are actually all three of them were pretty good, I think. I think the Detroit actually gave the Bills a little bit of a run.
Man, I was
Yeah, did
I was getting so excited for the end of that game because that's the only game I got to see the most of. I
right.
totally missed the Dallas game because
So
that's when we were eating dinner, and then only caught a little bit of the Vikings. Um,
so you
but
do it differently.
yeah,
You guys are different. So there's families who, when you do the dinner, you do it around the table, and then there's families like mine where the dinner is ready so we make the dinner
mm,
during the early game. So that's Detroit. That's always Detroit, right?
uh,
And it's ready by Cowboys, and then we're all in our food comas by the late game. So it's based
I
around the
love that.
games.
I love that.
But we're always in front of the TV. We don't. I know some families like to, do it at the table, like
Yep,
separately, and that's all fine and dandy. No, we've always been like the TV dinner family. We still bond and everything, but
sure.
when football's on, football's on.
I respect it and a little jealous because my family is not like that. Yeah, no, we're like full blown nice dining room. The silver's out, everything kind of deal at my grandma's
Mm.
house, and a big ordeal. And COVID, it used to be huge. Like 20 to 30 people would show up to my grandma's house for Thanksgiving dinner. Absolutely massive gathering. And since COVID, of course, it's been a lot smaller, a little more of the um, not just smaller people to keep COVID safe, but also not inviting family members who continue to refuse to get vaccinated. But that's a
Uh,
that's a whole nother topic.
right, right, right.
No, yeah, and so like this year is probably about the smallest Thanksgiving I can even think of in recent memory, especially since my grandpa died, and
Mm.
there's only about yeah, I think 8 or 9 of us in total, which was crazy. I bought a turkey big enough for 15 people because that's how many people I was told was going to be there. Everyone went home with leftovers. Yeah,
Mm-mm. We planned it. We planned it almost perfectly. Almost. Like there was
oh,
still some leftovers, but they only lasted maybe another 2 days. So that was
it's
fine.
the
And
perfect amount.
by like Sunday, it was gone. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Mm,
we didn't overdo it. We didn't underdo it. We had it just right.
that's perfect. I like
Yep,
that a
yep.
lot.
Yeah, man. Real quick before we jump into the main week,
Yes.
I want to say we're recording this, on a Thursday night. Um, again, the Bills are on, but they're playing the Patriots, and you know what? I have to give the Patriots a compliment. I don't, you know how I feel about them. They're not my favorite team. I know RMR 23. I see you in the chat. I
Yeah.
know that's your team, and I respect you, dog. Usually I am not the one to compliment them, but I do gotta say, those throwback uniforms are fire, man. I can't even lie. I can't even lie, man. They look clean. Like the new with the Nike, like with the new style of the uniforms, but the old school design. Like it's just a good look, man. I'm actually really happy that they're bringing back kind of the throwbacks, you know, like we got to see the Cowboys on Thanksgiving with their classic Thanksgiving jerseys,
Mm.
and um I think that was it for a while. I mean, we've seen quite a few alternate jerseys in the NFL. Oh, the Eagles Sunday night had that black on black with the black helmet.
Oh, those look good. I kind of
Jeez,
like
bro.
those. Yeah.
Jalen Hurts came out with the Concord Jordans on. Man, that was cool. Who knows what it will do in regards to CTE, right? Like that was the whole reason they stopped changing the helmets, right?
Uh-huh.
But I guess they seen something. They were like, you know what? Let's start doing this again.
Man,
And I
yeah.
mean,
I'm
players
glad
help.
too.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it's not a negative effect on the players' health, but I do think the players like it. I would say that in college they change their helmets all the time, so. I don't know. I don't know the science behind that. I don't know if we even have enough data to really see how much that's actually how much of an effect that has
Hmm.
on the situation. And it could be that the helmets technology are just better now that maybe we can just start switching it up again. Hopefully that's the case. Hopefully that ultimately of all these scenarios, that would be the most ideal, right? Just the technology is so good now that we can alternate helmets and stuff, and we can bring back some of these really dope uniform designs. But anyway, that's my spiel on that and
Yeah.
my small compliment toward the Patriots. You get one.
You get the one. That and they're within 10 points right now of the Bills. Who knows how it's going to end? Actually,
Uh,
RMR was up in here talking a little bit before you joined, and just discussing how the game's been going. And bad clock management seems like it's going to be the devil of them, right?
yeah,
And it seems like they got that fumble, and then they pretty much had to walk off the field because they just couldn't figure it out. It's insane to me that not just like Bill Belichick, but anyone who's a coach in the NFL, like once you get to that point in your career, clock management should be second nature. It shouldn't be something you have to think about. Kind of wild that it's still a struggle, and then especially a struggle for somebody like Belichick, who's, I mean, as old as the NFL is, it seems. I mean, like he's been around for a hot minute.
I don't know. Wasn't that
Uh,
always like Andy Reid's Achilles heel for a long time
yeah,
and kind
that's
of
always
still
been the
right now?
joke. Yeah, because
So
that's like
maybe,
how he always lost in the playoffs, is like blowing it
yeah,
clockwise. It's insane.
right. So maybe seniority is not the correlation for good clock management. You know what I'm saying? If we're seeing these OGs, because let's be real, both Andy Reid and Belichick are legends, man. But yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. They can't get that clock right most days. It doesn't seem. So yeah. But yeah, I don't have any faith that they'll win. I'm sorry. That's where my compliments end. I think the Bills they look good right now. They're looking good. They're getting stops. They're getting turnovers. Um, yeah, they're not really scoring a lot, but they did score a few pretty nice ones there. That one where Josh Allen jumped up out. You know what I'm saying? Like he jumped up, caught Gabe Davis a little bit. Have you been watching this game?
I have not. I've been catching the highlights though, so I know
Okay.
what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, the Gabe Davis TD was nice. Okay, I'm done complimenting the enemies. Let's talk about let's talk
See,
about our
because we
team.
also want the Patriots to win because we want that seed locked up nice and easy. So it's a tough one.
Exactly.
It's a tough
Exactly.
one.
No, 100. No, 100%. This whole time I want them to win, but let's call a spade a spade. The Bills are good. Like it is. It
Uh,
is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like so.
I get you.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about a little more excitement though. Let's go back to roll it back a little bit. It seems like it's been forever. I genuinely forgot last week was Thanksgiving until I was like looking at the calendar. I was like, oh, we're only 7 days removed from Thanksgiving. Holy moly! But Sunday, Chiefs Rams, 26-10.
Yeah. Good game.
It's a
Good
good
game. The
game.
defense looked good. Defense shut them down. Or defense. I mean, it was more the defense than the offense in this one game. Our offense obviously got their points. Mahomes did his thing. Kelsey got another TD. Adding to the
Hmm.
list. But I think at the end of the day, I think if I were to give a game ball to somebody, it would be like L'Jarius Sneed or it'd be Nick Bolton, guys like that on
Man,
that side of the field.
Snead and Bolton alone, oh, it feels like they could carry us across the line defensively. It was even a little bit of that last year, and then they finally have enough of a supporting cast now, it seems, to like really help them lock it in and like get there. George Karlaftis, dude, he's looking good. He's starting to get
Good.
there. Starting
Yeah.
to, yeah, obviously working for him. Frank Clark, it feels different. He's talking about the fact that he's not drinking anymore. He went on a diet, really just worked on improving his mental health as well as physical health in the past year. Because last year, I mean, he was obviously slacking just like the rest of our defense was, and it feels like he's playing a lot better this year too. Even if his stats aren't as good as they have been historically. Um, he feels different. I don't know if you feel the same way there, but yeah, overall. Um, and then what? Our rookies in the secondary, Trick McDuffie especially. I know he
Yeah.
got caught a couple of times, but overall, shoot, what was it? It was a long time ago, a few weeks back or whatever. But listening to that Kelsey Brothers podcast, and they're discussing what's the most difficult position in the NFL. And they, they said it's D-backs because they don't even let the white guys play it, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. I
and I'm
remember
just
that.
like, man, and ever since I, heard them talk about that, on the podcast, like how difficult it is for these D backs, and I've been watching it a little more closely, and I'm like, all things considered, if that's the hardest position, and we got multiple rookies back there, they're not doing too bad, are they?
Absolutely. Yeah, they look good. Like this is a solid I would say top 15 defense, and that's kind of what we need going into this late stretch. You know what I'm saying?
Yep,
Let offense do their thing and then just let defense get enough stops to keep that train rolling.
absolutely. What else? I'm trying to think of defensively. Not even just on our side of the ball, the Rams defense too. I do kind of got to shout them out a little bit, regrettably.
No, they
uh,
got stops. Yeah, no, they
yeah,
they did their thing.
they
Yeah.
did their thing. We, without a doubt, ever since Mahomes has started to play quarterback for the Chiefs, we've had the best red zone offense in the league. It's like by a country mile. It's hilarious just how much better we are than every other red zone offense in the league. They stopped us. We didn't have a red zone offense this last game. I know we still got 26 points, and that's nothing to laugh at, but uh, I think we only converted like one time in the red zone, something
Yeah,
like that.
something like that. Yeah, I don't have it pulled up, but yeah, it was yeah, they got a few stops on us. We did try a trick play to get that I'm not mad at them trying, but yeah, it didn't work out. Yeah, we tried a few things. They snipped it out immediately. Um, yeah, they were balling. They were, I mean, that is a good defense over there.
Which like we haven't seen that side of their defense, it seems, all year. The Rams have been pretty disappointing. The offense hasn't been great, but whatever. We all always knew it was going to be their defense that was really what helped them out a lot last year. Cooper Cup, of course, but their defense really was a lot of the reason why they got to where they did. It feels like they've been pretty weak this year, but they definitely showed up against Mahomes in the red zone offense, which is, one of those things where I'm glad we ran into that and we still won because now it gives tape to, Bieniemy and co to like work through to figure out how once we get into the playoffs and we run into something like that again, how to beat it. That's what we need to. That's what we need to see.
Absolutely. And yeah, going back to what you said about their offense being kind of lackluster, the Rams offense.
Hmm.
They pretty injured today. They had Stafford didn't play. They had
It was their
uh
third string quarterback.
yeah, man. Yeah. So yeah,
This is.
they're
Is this the second time this year we've played against a third string quarterback? Is what's his name from the Titans? Was he third string or was he second string? I can't remember.
that's a great question. I totally forgot about that. Let's see.
But it feels like a lot of teams in the NFL have really had to like even dip down to third string.
The Patriots earlier this year, right?
Patriots earlier this year was Zappy. I
The
think the
Miami Dolphins.
Dolphins, the Panthers, I'm pretty sure have had to do it. The
Yeah.
Jets, if you count it, I guess. What's his name? Oh no. Why am I totally failing? The guy who just played this last weekend, their quarterback, he's their third stringer, of course. It's kind of nutty, like how many third string players there have been in the quarterback position too. But hey,
Yeah, I mean, that's the game, man. And
it's
this
the
late in the
game.
season, there's
You
people
got to
gonna
be
be
able to
banged
step up.
up. So
Yep.
Yeah, next man up. Next man up.
And it does suck that they didn't have Cooper Kupp. I don't know if he would have changed the game, especially considering there was a third string quarterback in there. It seems like the best throw of the night came from their punter, on that fake punt that they had. That dude
It looks
just,
like I was
what?
just saying, it looks like Bryce Perkins is the quarterback to play. He's their second string, so he's
Second.
their
Okay.
backup. But so he's not their third, but he is. It's like as what you're saying. It's been a lot of backups. Period, whether it's second or third string. Because if
Mm,
you think about, remember the Cardinals, Colt McCoy had to get in for a little bit too. So
right.
um, yeah, a lot of injuries. Like it's just that time of year, and then people injuries start piling up. Guys don't feel 100%. So
Well,
next man up, whoever's ready to go. Yeah,
and then
go
not
ahead.
just injuries this year. It also feels like, and maybe I'm just, confirmation bias because I'm thinking about it. It feels like there've been a lot more teams going to second string because they don't trust their first string too.
That's a
Um,
good point. The Jets, Mike
yeah.
White, Mike White, and
White, that's his name, yeah.
yeah,
He's their, third stringer, and
yeah,
he played lights out. I think we're going to talk about them on this next slide here. They played pretty good this last weekend. Um,
absolutely.
yeah, it's always fun to see a backup come in and do well. I just like it when they don't do well against the Chiefs, and that was definitely the case here.
He, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's always cool to see the backups and everything, but you do. I personally do kind of like to see the stars. Like I like to see the stars. I like when the games are like really competitive, even though I complain about it the entire time. Um, Things like that. So, but yeah, great team win. Um, both sides of the ball made plays, and yeah, we'll just on to I guess since on to Cincinnati, like
On
Bill Belichick
Cincinnati.
used to say repeatedly. I'm gonna
And
tweet that.
hey, please do. Um, Man, the only other two things I really had to talk about when it came to this game is first Sky Moore. He's got to be done. No more punt returns from him.
Yeah,
Uh, it's just like, okay, the first two times it happens, it happens. Okay, fine, move on. I think we're now on like five muffed punts from him this year, four at the very least. He's just obviously not meant to be a punt returner in the NFL, or at least not without a whole off season of practice with Tommy Townsend over there just bombing balls to him and picking him up. It's because it's been multiple different situations too. It's not like they've all been in outdoor stadiums in the frigid cold with a left-footed punter or anything like that.
right.
I mean, in Colts he dropped one. This last weekend dropped one. He's dropped I don't know, was it against the Titans? I can't remember, but I mean, he's muffed more than a few, and it's just it's past the point of being able to make excuses for him. I feel. And I feel comfortable being super critical of him because then he came out on the offensive side and balled out. He did great as a receiver, I feel, especially considering he's like what fifth, sixth man down in the pecking order right now. He definitely was making some moves this past weekend. I feel. Uh,
That's the thing to mention, and it's kind of the old news because it's been that way, but we're still not 100% either. So even if we're going against other teams that aren't 100%, it's the same for us. Yeah, we're still down guys, and yeah, guys are stepping up like he did on offense this week.
which is really good to see, especially after Tony did so great when he stepped in for Hardman, and then he gets hurt. Hardman's still out for the time being. Juju was probably a solid 50-50, it seemed. I don't think they gave him the ball some, but probably not as much as they normally would have, it felt. They definitely kept him a little more reined in, probably to let him get used to playing again after that horrific knock he took the prior.
Yeah,
Yeah, so really really comforting that not just do we have these backup receivers, but for whatever reason every single tight end in a Chiefs uniform is just God's gift to this earth. It seems like they are all three of them. Kelsey we all know about. He's still my MVP candidate, but both Gray and Fordson, I you
they,
know they
we
play.
treat our tight ends like receivers. Yeah, straight up, like
Yeah.
straight receivers. Like they make pass, they make catches, and kind of going back to what you were saying from the for Kelsey, right? Your MVP. I mean, obviously he's the GOAT, he's a beast and everything. I was listening to the Kelsey Brothers
Mm,
podcast today, actually, and one thing he was talking about is how they are in the locker room, and that just how everyone's willing to share knowledge. And so I think you kind of see that on the field where Kelsey's willing to impart his wisdom on these guys, and these guys are going out and doing their thing. You know what I'm saying?
right. Yeah, and I mean, you pull in players like, Fordson and Gray, who seem to be like the guys who are they exist to be the blocking tight end, right? That's their role in the team. But then you get them
Right.
under the tutelage of somebody like Kelsey, who's a receiving tight end. You're suddenly looking at, dual threat backup tight ends, guys you can bring in a three tight end set. Guys you could even do like, Kelsey playing quarterback and then them two going out to catch it, things like that. It's too fun. I love tight ends. I love tight end play. Like Tony Gonzalez was my favorite Chief for the longest time. Um, it's so great to see those just like humongous human beings going out there and just playing so well, and to have a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes throwing to you too when you're that kind of size, it's just got to be heaven.
Absolutely. Yeah, fun game. Fun. I mean, I felt like we were in control the whole time. I was never worried. Not like the highest scoring game or what? Not what did I say? Like 30 to. I know I said something crazy. I probably was just
Yeah, let's pull it up
talking
here. A
noise.
little keep the receipts
I
action.
am curious.
You said 28-10, so actually
Oh, I was pretty
you were pretty
close.
much spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were two
All
off.
right.
A
Yeah.
safety difference. That might be the closest keep the receipts we've had yet.
Wow.
Now that I think about it. That's hey, well
Interesting.
done, well done. All right.
Thank you. Thank you. I won't get the next one.
Right, right. Hopefully in a good way. Hopefully you don't get it in a good way.
Right, right, right.
Yeah, the last thing I had other than Sky Moore though, Pacheco, dude, he's
Oh yeah.
rolling.
How do we miss the first bullet point?
Right,
Pacheco.
right. We kind of,
Pacheco.
I think we went from bottom up here. That's what we did this time. Yeah, he only ran for 69 yards, but it felt like he had a much larger impact on the game. Um, Also, it seems like 69 yards is pretty much all you really do need in order to establish a run game and make it happen, especially when you're the Chiefs. And for him to be able to do that, and I mean, he's breaking tackles. I think he broke a tackle from Aaron Donald. Who does that? You know?
Right. So
Uh,
have you seen the meme? They do it every season. NFL memes does like they mess with the Cowboys, of course, Dallas Cowboys or whatever. So every time they lose to a player or they lose to a team, they add like a selfie from one of those players to like this blank photo, and it's like, are y'all still them boys? Question mark. Have you seen that?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and every week they add a new guy.
New guy.
So I wish we had like a Pacheco version where it's like every week, um, we just go against the sportscasters. Like, do we still need Tyreek?
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Like every week we get another win, and we just keep reposting Pacheco. You know
But
what I'm
yeah.
saying? Instead of posting other players, we just keep reposting Pacheco.
Oh, I
Do
love
we
it.
still need Tyreek?
Do we still need
Do
no?
we-
No, we
Yeah,
don't. We
exactly.
do not. Man.
Exactly.
Oh,
But
dude. Yeah, and it seems to even that whole entire mentality has even started to bleed over into the casters. They just make fun of it now too all the time, it seems. Because
because they were the ones talking about it.
yeah, and now it's like everyone realizes now, yeah, we don't need Tyreek.
Yeah.
It's finally been accepted. It's no longer a fluke.
Right.
We are just fine. And any other thoughts about the Chiefs Rams?
No, it was a good one. I really man, I just love watching this team. This team looks really this I will say this. Actually, I do have one more point.
Mm,
As we watch Bills Rams or as I watch Bills Patriots right now while we were recording this show, I remember earlier in the season, I thought that they were the team to beat, especially after they beat us. I knew it was going to be us versus them. We were going to be top two teams going in, and I thought they had the slight edge. But like what I'm saying with our defense stepping their game up, even if it's against backups, like you said, everyone is kind of banged up in the NFL right now.
you still have to play the team you're playing.
You
Yeah.
still have to play the team you're playing. I still contested guys like Bolton and Snead looking solid, and Frank, like you said. not messing up. I mean, he's not like electrifying, but he's doing his job. You know what I'm saying? That's all we can ask for. He's doing his job. Chris Jones is doing his job. Like, we're the team to beat now, point blank period. We got the MVP candidate. We've got, the best tight end in the game. Our defense looks like I would say top 15. I don't know if I'm ready to go top 10, but I'll say top 15
Hmm.
defense. So, offensive looks like we have offensive weapons too that aren't just Tyreek. You
Right.
know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So we're the team to beat right now. I think I could say that confidently. And it's not just this game, but just the last couple games. I feel like that needs to be oversaid. You know what I'm saying? Like, because another thing I would say, and I know we're going to move on to the next segment in just a little bit, but another thing that I would say, who was it? I was watching Inside the NFL on Tuesday, and Julian Edelman, RMR 23, another Patriot reference there. Julian Edelman, he's like, how come we aren't talking about the Chiefs? And he's damn right. This is the best team in the NFL, and we act like it's not somehow. Like the national media act like
Uh-huh.
where it's, oh yeah, that's the Chiefs. They just win. It's like, yeah, they just win, and they're winning, and they're doing it in a very convincing fashion. Like it's time. I mean, it's not like people don't give us our respect, but I just feel like it's not enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, and I don't know if it's even that for me. I think it's less that and more of just like everyone knows we're the best. Maybe it's going unsaid. So now at this point,
They
there's
downplay it.
yeah, you can't talk about the Chiefs every minute of every day now. You have to talk about the other people. Oh yeah, also the Chiefs exist kind of thing. Um, so I totally get that. I get that it's like yeah, people talk up the Bills, the Eagles, and even the 49ers, strangely enough. Like I don't know why they're getting so much love. Everything
The
like this, like
Dolphins.
the Dolphins, they're talking up all these teams, like talking about how great they are, how they can win it this year. And I think that's less them disrespecting the Chiefs and more of them just like, okay, also the Chiefs exist. We all know that. We don't need to talk about them, right?
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but if you were to switch this and say, "Oh, it's the Patriots," right? Like in the Tom Brady era, I know I keep bringing up the Patriots because we're watching the Patriots right now. They'd be talking about the Patriots. They would be like, if it was the Bucks, if the Bucks were balling right now, they'd be talking about the Bucks, but
Mm.
they're not. They just had their loss. And with that, let's go and
Yeah,
get the
let's
rest of the league.
move that over. Yeah,
Yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead and start talking about this. Like you're saying, yeah, the Bills. I put them on here twice apparently. Man, I was really just not in the headspace when I was putting this slide together, huh? Power rankings, something we always love to talk about. I think this is the first time since even before last year, and maybe even into 2020, that the Bills are outside the top five,
Wow, I haven't
or
actually
tried
looked
to
at
into
this
fifth. Yeah.
power. Yeah, I didn't really look at this power ranking. Who's in the top five?
Number one is Philly. Uh,
Okay. Oh, yeah, yeah, that
yeah,
makes sense.
all right, cool, whatever. Until they play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, they'll probably be
Right,
number one, and then we'll kick
right.
their butts, right? Number two is the Chiefs. I'm trying to pull this from memory now because it was Tuesday that I looked at it. Or
Oh,
what I
let
could
me
just
see.
do
I'll
is
pull it
pull it up on the, yeah, hey, why don't we do that, huh? A little bit, all
that was a
right.
good move.
Yeah, all right. Oh, that's QB rankings. That's not power rankings. I think the 49ers were up there, but let's figure this out here. So let's do some NFL power rankings. All right. So number one, Philly Eagles. Number two, Chiefs. Number three, San Francisco 49ers. I don't get
Number
that.
three. Wow. What?
I don't get that.
I don't get that either.
Number four was the Dallas Cowboys. And this is kind of what blows my mind, right? So 49ers go in, they have a pretty solid win, right? But it's against a team that honestly, it was the Saints. So let's temper expectations.
This is the NFL.
Yes.
Who's NFL's power ranking? Okay.
Yeah.
NFL.com.
Yep. So they bumped all the way up to, third, pushing the Dallas Cowboys down despite the fact that the Cowboys won. I always think it's kind of strange when power rankings shift winning teams down, but hey, There's always a reason for it, I suppose. But yeah, the 49ers bumped up to 3, bumping the Cowboys down to 4 and the Bills down to 5. So the first time in a long time that the Bills have been outside the top 4.
You know what? I don't agree with this list. I don't. I mean, I think all those teams belong up there except the 49ers. I don't see that one. I mean, yeah, they're doing good right now. I don't between them and the Bills. The Bill. It's not like the Bills have lost. They're still winning. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Why y'all got me defending the Bills on this damn podcast? I didn't want to do this.
This is not what I signed up for, dang it.
Yeah, what the heck?
And yeah,
Damn it, NFL.
and I think my biggest issue with the 49ers here, right, is like, yeah, they're 7-4, so 4 losses at this point in the season, still respectable. It's the teams that they've lost to, though, not beaten. Like,
Right,
congratulations, you've beaten the other teams in the NFC West.
right.
Not hard right now.
Exactly.
I mean, it sans, the Seahawks playing pretty all right, but still, even then, they're not that great. They had a huge blowout loss to the Chiefs. Their other losses haven't been that great either. I don't understand how these guys can pull in number 3 spot over. I mean, even the Dolphins, the Cowboys for sure, the Bills for sure. It's just it almost
It,
feels like they just wanted new blood, higher up in the rankings. They're like, well, let's do the 49ers.
it kind of does, yeah. Because right now the AFC East and the NFC East are, I would say, the two tough. I mean, I don't even think I would say. I think most people would agree, two toughest leagues right now, two toughest divisions.
Absolutely.
And
It's not even
so, yeah,
close. Yeah,
right.
without a doubt. I mean, if the playoffs were expanded by one team each, I think all 4 teams from those 2 conferences would have or divisions would have an excuse to go.
Right.
It's a shame they wouldn't be able to, but I wouldn't be surprised if both wild card spots in the NFC and AFC are taken up by East teams. That's for sure.
Sure. For sure.
We'll see
But
what
yeah,
happens though.
yeah.
Especially with this game tonight, if the Patriots pull out a win, I mean that tightens
That's
the
not,
race up a lot over there in the NFC East or AFC
yeah,
East. Jeez.
no. Devin Singletary just scored again. They're
Oh,
not
okay.
winning
Well, then never mind. All right. So let's
tonight.
just forget everything we've said about. We're wrong.
Yeah. Jags Ravens.
Jags or Ravens. Let's do it. All right. Yes. This is one of the better games of the week. I feel I caught some of it. Um, I you know, Jags might be real. I don't know. It's hard to tell because I feel like they played a lot better than their scoreline was against us. They played better than what, the points they put up on the board there. Um, which is always impressive to do against the Chiefs, especially when, you're Trevor Lawrence there. But for them to I did you catch any of this game at all? Uh,
I did, and I
yeah,
caught the very
the
end,
very
and
end, the big one.
uh, yeah, and I actually I disagree with you.
Okay.
I don't think it's the Jags are good. I think it's the Ravens aren't as good as we probably thought they were going to be going into the season. They've had what is their third or so game where they got come back on by double digits, and
Mm-hmm.
I know we do that to teams, so I know that's like our stat, that's our thing. But when you're the team where that happens to you multiple times, that's not a good look. You know what I'm saying? So the Ravens have been doing this a lot lately, including this game. They were up by double digits, and yep, the Jags ended up coming back on them, and as usual, they had to bring it down to the your boy, the kicker. And it's late. Y'all, we're doing this at 9 p.m. Justin
Uh,
Tucker.
Man, and
Justin
and
Tucker.
he's the one kicker I have respect for. So,
Right.
it's for him to miss it's kind of crazy.
It was like 67
Oh
yards or
yeah, no,
something
it's
like that.
completely reasonable why he did. It was a 67-yard attempt.
Yeah,
Yeah.
67-yard attempt. Um, but I mean, and I understand he's a Hall of Famer, he's a legend, but Lamar, that's on you, man. You wanted the bag this year, man. You got to prove you earned the bag. And I think games like this shouldn't come down to Justin Tucker. I think games like this should come down to Lamar Jackson.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
And
That's my take on that one.
Jackson's been doing well betting on himself this year. They still are 7-4, very
Sure.
respectable. It's
Division
entirely.
leaders.
Yeah, they're division leaders. They might, even win their wild card weekend game. It's entirely possible. The biggest thing that really is on them is their defense just is in shambles. If you like, they play well for
Ravens
about
D.
3 quarters, and then they all just start fighting with each other in the fourth quarter, it seems, and check out of games, allowing
That's
for
a good point.
comebacks like this. And I'm
That's a
sorry.
good point.
Oh, sorry.
No, I was just saying that's a good point. I was getting on Lamar,
Mm.
but I mean, it's been said these last few weeks that the Ravens D isn't the Ravens D right
Right.
now.
Yeah, we're all used to defense wins championships. Ray Lewis back there, just doing his thing, winning
Ed
games.
Reed.
Yeah, Ed Reed. I think won his Super Bowl based off of their defense, basically. It's like
Twice.
twice. Yeah. Um, and I'm sorry, like when you're a professional football team with what should be a really good defense, letting a team put in a 2-point conversion to win a game is just inexcusable, right? I mean, these are things that you're supposed to be practicing, like, goal line type defense all day, every day. You would just have to stop one play. That's all you have to do is stop one play, and you let the Jags score a two-pointer on you to win. Man, that's a tough one.
Ooh, yeah, no, I agree.
But
I'll say ooh to what you just said, and then ooh to the air ball that Mac Jones just threw. We'll have to. Okay, so when we talk about the Eagles, I got something to say about
yeah,
that.
well, so let's go ahead and talk about the Eagles then. What's up?
Still in good, still winning games. Tough games are supposed to win and everything. Like Green Bay. We've been shitting on Green Bay all year, but at the end of the day, that's still Aaron Rodgers on the other side of the ball, right?
Hmm.
And they gave us a show on Sunday night, but the Eagles proven once again they are real. They are a really good team, and the most likely to go to the Super Bowl out of the NFC, right? Um, and I am in a group chat. It's with a Eagles fan and a Dolphins fan, and we were just kind of talking about like the comparisons and stuff. And we got on the subject just talking about how like Mac Jones, Jalen Hurts, and Tungo Vailoa
You
all
say that
all from
5 times
Bama.
fast.
Right. No, never. All from Bama, but
Uh-huh.
I don't know, man. Mac looks like the one out of those three. Mac looks like the one that's. I don't see him as a starter very long, just especially watching this game right now. Like you ever seen that meme where it's like there's two hot girls and then there's, there's this like short one or that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I don't know.
He's the ugly duckling.
Yeah, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Or the
And
the one with the two dragons and there's like one goofy looking dragon. Yeah, that's Mac Jones.
that's Mac
That's
Jones.
Mac Jones.
Well, and
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong too. Did he even ever start in college? Or wasn't there like a Bama quarterback that got drafted once that was just second string his entire college career? Was that Mac Jones?
Was it him? I
I
don't
can't
think so.
remember. It might not be. Because I watch college football about as much as no one. No one watches less college football than me, I think. So,
I was gonna say
uh,
I might have you at least tied.
right.
I might have you at least tied. I did watch this weekend because just small side. This was like the big rivalry weekend, so I did watch
Uh,
that Michigan Ohio
Ohio
State game.
State. Yeah.
Yeah, so I caught. But in general seasons, as bad as our Kansas Jayhawks are, you damn right I ain't watching. Like, I don't care. Like,
Right.
we're not in the conversation.
We we
No,
don't we don't watch this for it.
it's just Saturday.
All right.
But yeah, I don't know. We'll have to table
I
that for maybe another time. I mean, it's not like this is the last time we're going to talk about Jalen Hurts or
right.
Tua on this podcast, or maybe Mac Jones
Mac
either.
Jones even. Yeah.
But
Yeah. It's they need to figure. Patriots definitely need to figure out their quarterback situation because it is pretty hilarious, like you're saying that out of Bama, those three guys come through and one of them is just miles behind the other two. That's for sure.
yeah, man.
That is for sure. All right.
Yeah.
What else do we have? I did put
Yo,
Denver sucks on here because that's my favorite topic of the of the year right now.
man, dude. I got so excited because we're both fantasy players.
Uh-huh.
I got an alert that I haven't gotten in what feels like months, right? And it said Russell Wilson passes for a touchdown.
And you're like, wait, what?
Yeah, I was like, he finally made one.
He did it.
And then they lost. Um,
Uh-huh. It was
and
a solid 23 to 10. To me, it's more of who they lost to. And losing to the
yeah,
Panthers right now is just that's a tough pill to swallow.
100%.
It's like,
And you see the locker room fallout, man. You see, like, we got players charging up Russell Wilson after, on the sidelines. Like, bro, you're supposed to be the leader. You're supposed to
yeah.
be like, it's not looking good over in Denver. And as a lifelong Denver hater, I was taking a lot of glee in it.
Uh-huh.
But now I kind of feel bad for them. Like,
Yeah.
I've always liked Russell Wilson. I thought I've been thinking the memes this year are funny, of course, but I always thought he was I've liked him. Yeah, he's a hard worker. Just kind of listen to some of his interviews, like the things he does to prepare and get ready for the game. Like
Uh-huh.
he does year round. Like he's a good dude on and off the field. But yeah, it just has not. This experiment has not worked out in Denver up to this point, and it's like a completely different guy. And meanwhile, somewhere, um, Matt Ryan is like, you know just hiding idly by while like he's getting all the flack because we watched that Colts game too, and Matt ain't it either anymore.
Matt ain't it either. Matty Ice is thawed out, that's for
Yeah,
sure. It's a
patty
rough
melt
one. Matty
like
now.
a patty melt.
Ah, man, yeah. That's Let's talk about that a little bit of Colts. I had hoped that that game would be a lot better.
I,
I was
I
trying to
haven't.
buy into the Jeff Saturday hype, and Pickens has been a lot better too this year. It's starting to get there. He started off really rough this year, but it seems like he started to get his feet under him. So it's like, all right, Pickens with the Steelers, and then Jeff Saturday leading the Colts. Maybe this will be an exciting game. That was just I turned it off about halfway through.
Bro, no, you bought into the hype, man. You think you
I
see Monday
did.
night, Monday night football, Colts Steelers, man. This isn't your grandfather's Monday night football, Colts Steelers, or I
No.
guess your father's. I guess it wasn't that long ago, but this ain't Roethlisberger versus Manning, This is Pickens versus Matt Ryan? Like, are we sure it's him? Do we know that's him and not like a twin brother or a doppelganger that has him tied up somewhere? Just
See, what I want to know is it because I don't know if you remember this or not, but Andrew Luck's last game as a Colt, like it was pretty well known that he was gone and done. The fans were booing him off the field. And I want
right.
to know if the people who were booing feel bad about that because they cursed their team ever since then. They haven't had a single good season out of a quarterback. I'm trying to think, like I think their best performance was Carson Wentz going, 50-50 with his win-loss record. Like he went 9-9 or something like that, I think. Man, yeah, it turns out Andrew Luck was doing everything in his God-given ability to drag the Colts kicking and screaming to wins that they did win. And ever since then, ever since the people booed him off the field, Colts have just been awful in the quarterback line, and it's kind of
And
funny,
I was gonna say that also gives me such joy. Not
right?
gonna
Yeah, because Andrew Luck was one of my favorite players in the league, without a doubt. And for him to have to like retire as early as he did with all the injuries he had, and then the disrespect from the fans too, with the still success that he gave them. Come
lie.
on, So I'm glad to see them suffering a little bit.
Not even that. No, for me, like the Colts were our curse for a while, especially in the
Mm.
playoffs. Like just the no punt game or
Oh
just
yeah.
any like just devastating playoff losses. It was monkeys that one of the major monkeys off of our backs that I was like, okay, we're gonna do this is when we beat the Colts with Mahomes, you know what I'm saying? In
Yep.
the playoff, like just stuff like that. Just seeing that, like getting over these humps that we were cursed with for a while. Yeah, no, I am enjoying. as a fan, right? I mean, obviously, if you come across this and you listen to you're a Colts fan and you're listening, you just want to like, I love the game, I love the sport, I
Um,
love the NFL, and I have respect for every team. But just as a Chiefs fan, it's nice to be on top, man. It's been a long
uh,
time, man. Y'all all had your chances. Let's flip this. Let us enjoy this, okay?
absolutely.
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. All right, so what else do we got out here? I do definitely want to talk about the Jets Bears. I understand it was against the Bears, but man, what was his name? White. He had a monster stat line. I
Mike
just
Ice.
yeah.
I don't know.
I no, I'm with it. I'm with it. We're
I'm
taking it away from Matty Ryan and we're putting it on
yeah.
Mike now.
Mikey Ice.
All right, so I just pulled it up. He went 22 for 28. Awesome. 315 yards and three touchdowns. I mean, oh man, chills, you know. Glad to see them having a good alternate to Zach Cougar Wilson.
Yeah,
Always nice there. I mean, I don't know what's going on with him and why, they felt the need to sit him, but
I got
huh.
I got thoughts. I have thoughts on
Yeah.
that.
All right.
I
Let's hear
gotta
it.
say. Well, I'll just say I gotta say. I mean, okay, so it is interesting that they benched him. There's got to be a little bit more behind the scenes. So yeah, he hasn't been. I don't know. I mean, he was drafted pretty high, right?
He
So
was, I think, the second overall,
he
if I
was second
remember.
overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Um, And yeah, he hasn't been the most productive so far, but they were still winning games. And it was just it seemed kind of crazy to me that all it took was like a what's it called post game press conference and just like his response to that to be like, okay, you're out for however long. You know,
Uh-huh.
maybe if you're like you're benching him for a week or whatever, that'd be one thing. But no, he's like, okay. Um,
You're taking a seat.
I personally feel like that they kind of I don't like I'm not the biggest fan. I've never have been of the post game press conferences because the way that question was worded, there was not really a an answer that was really going to be satisfying either way. I don't think. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like he's like, do you think you're at fault, or do you think you let the defense down? Like
Yeah.
I don't. What is he supposed to? I mean, yeah, we did. I mean, I guess if you say yeah, we did, you're taking accountability. But then I could see it where you're getting ramrodded or whatever phrase like for like yeah he didn't believe in himself. They let the defense down. Like it's just I just
Right.
don't think that could have gone really in any way that was going to be like
There's no diplomatic answer to that makes you
yeah
come out looking good.
yeah. And just so he just said no. And sometimes I'm kind of like, fuck these reporters, man, because y'all
Hmm.
be asking some questions just to, like so you can write your article a certain way. And
Man,
yeah, I mean,
that's why I was loving about Marshawn Lynch there, at the just with his whole attitude towards press conferences and everything. It's, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Like,
exactly.
I wish players could opt out if they wanted to, and I hate the fact that they can't because it's such a silly mental crisis to put people through, just for the sadistic pleasure of both the press and for fans. There's
Right.
just,
Yeah.
yeah, no reason that any person should have to be in that kind of situation unless they want to be. And I mean, every sport's like this. They force, coaches and players to be available for the media, even after a crushing loss or something really disappointing happening or whatever. And then, yeah, like you said, they get then asked these questions where there is no answer to it, and it puts them in a lot of trouble more often than not.
Right. Yeah. But going back to what you're saying
Mm.
about Mike White balled out, man. So he was waiting for that opportunity, next man up. I
Well,
mean, you're the starter now,
you
as far as you know, so you got to do your thing.
And you want to talk about next man up mentality, though? Let's talk about the running backs. I mean, you and I were huge on Brees Hall coming into this year. We were loving it.
Absolutely.
We were loving it, and he was doing amazing until he tore his ACL. So I hope he comes back soon, dude. All right,
Oh,
first off,
Breeze, sorry, brother.
yeah, I really hope he comes back strong. But yeah, first up, the name of this player alone is just enough for me to like him. Bam Knight, dude. He
I
came
love it.
out 69 yards. He's 21 years old and out there putting 69 yards up in the NFL and doing really good looking like that. Ty Johnson also, because Michael Carter's supposed to be like, the second stringer, the next guy in the line once Brees Hall goes down. But Ty Johnson and Bam Knight came out combined for 170 some odd yards or something like that, and just did incredible work. So it's really fun to see that, and it makes me glad that it's like, all right, Brees is down. We thought that would be the death of the Jets. And instead, they're out there with a backup quarterback and like third and fourth string, running backs and still winning games. It's fun to see.
C East is tough right now.
AFC
Even if,
East,
like I
yeah.
said, I mean, it is still the Bills. I actually are the Bills first or the Dolphins
The
first? The
Dolphins are
Dolphins are
first right
first.
now, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, um, one of theirs to lose. Well, again, I'd still kind of give it to the Bills over the Dolphins on that, but still,
Absolutely.
the Jets are right there. The Jets are right there.
Yeah, both the Jets and the Patriots are only one game behind. So,
Yeah, but
well, Patriots are about to be 2 games behind.
nobody. Yeah, but I mean, they're still, they're still a threat. They're still they
Uh-huh.
can play. They can play spoiler. They can play spoiler to anybody in
Absolutely.
that division. So yeah, we'll see. So yeah, Denver. We already talked about that. Denver sucks. Did we talk about the Bills?
Suckers.
We've been talking about the Bills all night, but we'll just say yeah. It. I think part of the reason they got dropped down to five is for a while there it looked like Detroit was going to get them, but uh they they found a way, and it was an entertaining game. I
Yeah.
do kind of appreciate it. I saw a funny stat that uh the Bills won back-to-back home games in Detroit, and Detroit hasn't done that since like 2016 or something like that. I was like,
Yeah,
wow.
dang, you guys didn't have to do them dirty like that. Oh
No, I love
man.
it.
Yeah, that's freaking hilarious. I
Yeah,
love it.
but
That's outstanding.
yeah. Any other games to note? I mean, I think
No, no. I,
yeah, we kind of covered them all. We just talked about the Patriots. We watched them against the Vikings last week. The Vikings are a fun team to
hey,
watch too.
prop to
So,
Kirk Cousins for winning in prime time, you know? I mean,
wait! Oh my God! Yes, hang on, damn it! I just thought about that. You're right.
I wasn't giving it too much weight because it was against the Patriots who've been a little lackluster here and there all season long. But yeah, he did pull it out in a game that was not starting at 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, there you go. There's the highlight from that game. And Justin Jefferson is a beast. Those two things. But yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
honestly.
Good. Good week. Good week. Let's go to. I mean, I guess if you got nothing else, do you have anything else on this week?
Fantasy. Let's talk fantasy a little bit
Let's talk
before
about
we
some
start
fantasy.
looking at that. So in our league, it continues to be the same standings as before. You and I actually play each other this week, so
Both seven
mortal
and five.
enemies or whatever. The second we
Yep.
hang up here, I think, right?
Both 7 and 5 right now. I
Both
mean,
seven
we
and
just
five. At
started playing it sure tonight, right? Do you have
Oh
anybody in
yeah,
your
let me
team?
look and see if I have anyone. I don't think I do in this league. I know. Oh
Mm.
wait, no, I have the Bills defense. Oh boy.
I've got Devin Singletary. So.
All right.
Sorry.
Okay.
That was
I'm
good.
not doing good now. Oh God. I'm surprised I only have 5 points from the Bills defense right now considering it's 24/7, but hey, whatever.
To
Uh
this day, I don't really understand how the defense works
I
on fantasy.
I understand why people want defense in fantasy football because like the whole idea is you're putting together your fantasy team, so you need a defensive side. If I had any control over it, I would axe defense from fantasy football, just like
Right.
kickers. But hey, um, it is what it is. Besides, you got Cowboys playing Indianapolis, so I'm already in trouble defensively, anyways, head to head. Uh, oh man, yeah, our game's going to be a
Oh.
fun one. Um, that the one that hurts me the most is, of course, I have Tua as my quarterback, and he'll be throwing a lot of bombs to one of your receivers and Tyreek Hill there. So I
Yeah.
can't even cheer for every touchdown he's going to throw because it'll be putting more points in your hands whenever he does throw it to Tyreek. That's for sure.
Speaking of fantasy, can we talk about one? I don't have him in this league, but Josh Jacobs, 50 points, bro.
Ah, I don't. I feel bad for the guy having to play for the Raiders. He's been
Yeah.
a monster ever since he's been playing there. Um, and especially in fantasy, he's been huge. And no matter how hard he tries, he still can't carry that team, and that's a rough one.
I mean, this is kind of a stretch of a comparison because he's not this guy, but Barry Sanders, man. You
Right.
know?
No, I
You
see it.
know?
Yeah, I see it. Absolutely.
You got the one just solid running back, just really solid, and then just the rest of the team. I mean, but also Devontae Adams, too. We can't forget about him. He's still pretty good.
Still, yeah, yeah. He's trying to win despite the guy throwing to him. That's for sure.
Right, right.
So.
So
All right, let's see
yeah,
what
I
else is
mean,
happening league wise. Standings wise, it's you, me, and Hung, and then of course she
your
who
mom.
shall not be named. Yeah, with the Chiefs.
That's not
Just
an insult, people. His mom is actually in our league and in first
in first
somehow.
place, yeah, and drafting all Chiefs players and just winning. I was looking at the standings and like the playoff projections and whatnot. She has a 99% chance right now of making it into the playoffs, and we have 2 weeks left. I think most leagues are at like 1 week now, but because we only have 8 people in ours, we're at 2 weeks left in our league. She has a 99% chance of making it. You're almost locked in at 82% chance, especially if you beat me. I think you're pretty much locked in. And then me and Hung are hovering right at 70% because we got a couple of 6-6 teams biting at our ankles. And then we'll see. It'd be great though if all three of us make it into the playoffs. It'll help a lot, I think, um, with
For
our
sure.
credibility when it comes to football talk.
Absolutely. But yeah, man, good stuff. Uh, two
Looking
games left, like
forward,
you said.
yeah.
Let's go. Yeah, let's do it.
All right, so looking forward to week 13. Chiefs and Bengals. I don't know what to think about this game right now, you know?
You
Bang
know what? I think the Bengals are trending up, and I think it's actually going to be tougher than we might be expecting.
I
You
I
know,
agree. Like it's so hard to place the Bengals somewhere, right? Like, even talking about power rankings, I don't know where I would put them because I feel like there's some weeks where I watch them play and I'm just like, there's no way this team made it to the Super Bowl last year, kind of thing, right? Um,
right.
but then other times they'll, have those games like where Joe Mixon scored 5 touchdowns or whatever the hell it was, and then you're just like, wow, they're firing on all cylinders. So. I think a lot of it depends on what offensive line shows up for the Bengals. Will they show up with a good enough line that'll protect Burrow and help Mixon run, or will they just be weak? And it'll be a good chance for our pass rush to really show that they've improved from last year, going up against the Bengals again, because that's why we lost the AFC Championship is we didn't have a pass rush, and so they were just able to ball out on us, I feel.
Yeah. They should. It should be. It should look good. I mean, they are still banged up too. They've got like. I mean, we're both banged up, but like they
Hmm.
don't have. I don't think Jamar Chase or Mixon will be in this game, so it'll be interesting to see how well they do against us without them. But of course, we don't have everybody back either, so yeah, it'll be interesting.
Right. Absolutely. Um, I can see this going either way, and I know we usually save those predictions for the very last, so we can talk about it then. But
Yep.
uh, I hate saying this because it feels like an easy way out, but this is either going to be one of those games where we win by 2 points or 20 points. It won't be like straddle in the middle there. It'll be a blowout or it'll be surprisingly close. And I'm genuinely worried if it is and ends up being one of those close games because Burrow could finish us out, no problem, if he really wanted to. So
I
let's
think
hope.
it's going to be close, and I also think. And now I said Jamar Chase. I don't think he's playing, but he might be playing, right? Let me check
Yeah,
this
I
real
don't know
quick.
where his injury status is right now.
because because and let's not act like the Bengals hadn't been talking shit, right? Like these last couple of
Oh yeah.
years, Eli Apple talking about smoking that Chiefs pack and everything. Like they've been jawing a little bit too, but I guess Justin Reed decided to jaw a little bit this week and give, you know. give some fuel to the fire. So they're a little juiced up now. We're going to be juiced up. Let's see. Yeah, Jamar Chase back from injury, optimistic entering game from Chiefs. I don't think I can be stopped, is what he says.
Hmm.
And Justin Reed's like, yeah, we shut them down. We shut them down.
We'll
So
stop them.
yeah, they've been going back and forth on social media and interviews and stuff like that. So I think it's gonna be a little chippy. It was chippy the last one too, right? Like the one we played them last time.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. I and it's not even like it's a rivalry or anything. It feels like it's two teams who just don't get along, you know.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see where that lands. And I can't remember. Are we playing there, right?
Yeah, we're playing there. Can I make a comparison?
Please.
I don't know if you've watched The Last Dance, Michael
Yes,
Jordan.
yes.
Like
Love
this
that.
is this,
Fantastic. Yeah.
absolutely this is our New York Knicks, right? Like
Mm,
we normally do pretty well against them, but it's they don't like each other. These guys, you know what I'm
right.
saying? It's like Chicago and New York didn't like each other. That's us and the Bengals right now.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
But
rivalry at least implies some mutual respect, stuff like that. Yeah, this is just flat out, we're not fans of each other kind of deal, it
or if you
seems.
want to say the Detroit Pistons,
I
this
was
is our
about to, yeah,
Detroit
the
Pistons.
bad boys over there in
Yeah,
Detroit, right?
maybe
And
that's a better comparison. Yeah, the Detroit Pistons. That's what this is. But yeah, I agree with you. I think it's gonna be close. We can save our predictions for the end. Speaking of, no, we'll save that. We'll save that. Actually, I want to save some other Chiefs related things, but not necessarily related to the game for the end.
all right.
Um, but yeah, let's talk about as far as games of the week too. Let me go ahead and say that's also going to be my game of the week. I would say again.
Chiefs
I know I
Bengals.
picked up. Yeah, and I know I typically go with the Chiefs
Hmm.
games these last few weeks. But I think it's going to be competitive, a lot more than maybe most people are expecting right now. Again, I think the Bengals are trending up. I think there is a little bit of a bitterness between these two teams. So I think both teams are going to be going in juiced, and we're going to see some interesting action.
There's going to be plenty of storyline around it too, which is
Yeah,
always fun.
yeah. Well, let's get it.
All right. Number two bullets, Thursday night burner. Of course, I wrote these slides thinking we were doing stuff on Tuesday, and we're doing stuff on Thursday instead, and it's anything but a burner. I'm looking at the score right now. It's 24-7 with 3 minutes left in the game. If the
And Mac
Patriots
Jones just got sacked. So it's yeah.
Man, I was like so prepared on Tuesday to talk about how I think, the Patriots could beat the Bills and like talk about
I thought,
how it
I
could
thought he was watching
happen.
this.
Yeah.
That's the reason I'm watching this game. I actually thought there was going to
It
be a
was going to be,
chance, but
well, and like I was like trying to work into here just like how like all the primetime games this week were just going to be so disappointing. And I'm like, well, no, it's kind of hard to say that about the Bills Patriots because both teams probably good, go head to head. Now this week's primetime games are garbage. I'm saying it now. I mean, 24/7 Patriots looking like they can't even figure out what a football is with 3 minutes left to go in this game. Our other two primetime games are Dallas Colts. So I think we can all safely walk away saying that's going to be 60-0 for the Cowboys. And then
uh,
Monday night is just a battle of who can suck more between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the New Orleans Saints. So
yeah, yeah, and we didn't cover it in our week 12. We don't have to really spend too much time on it, but
mm,
just that overtime comeback, overtime win, Browns beating the Tom Brady and the Bucks.
embarrassing.
Chef's kiss, delicious,
All right.
delicious.
So
But
great.
anyway,
And that's something good transition there though a little bit with the Browns that we can talk about when it comes to off-field
yeah,
things. Deshaun
yeah,
Watson's first game in a Browns uniform.
coming
I think
back.
it's pretty much guaranteed, right? Like it's not even a question.
No,
Like
he's
he's
playing.
he's playing.
He's
Um,
playing.
they're playing against the Texans too, so of course he has to
Yeah.
play.
Playing
Man,
against his home team.
all
It'll
right.
be. I'm keyed in. That's not. I won't say that's like the game of the week for me, but I am going to be keyed in on that
I,
game.
I
I'm
want to be
curious.
keyed in and cheering for the Texans. Let's go Texans.
Yeah,
One
I want
nine
to
and
see what
one.
the crowd. Absolutely, what the crowd's doing.
Uh-huh.
How he looks. I am curious how he looks. I mean, he's
Yeah.
been away for a while, so let's see. Yeah,
Time
yeah.
will
It'll
tell.
be. Yeah, that'll be a interesting game to watch. Now they did say I'm not going to defend anything he's done. I'm not, but I will say they did say he's been from what I've listened, some of the players talking heads this week. He's been doing the work behind the scenes on the field.
Uh-huh.
I hope he's doing at least he's trying to do some of the work off the field too.
Yeah. Yeah, because
So
that, he's got a lot of talent as a football player, but who cares when you do what you do there
you're
and
you're a deviant, yeah.
right, right, right. And just a naughty little boy. So it'll be interesting to see it. Honestly, like I was thinking about all the games this week. The only ones I even care about talking about, other than like the Chiefs, of course, and making fun of the primetime games, are noon games. The other 3 o'clock games are San Francisco, Miami. Okay, so I could see why that would be a good one to watch, but I feel like Miami's just going to walk through that one, no problem. I don't know why. Um,
Well, well, since you've said that they're a top five team, maybe they got something we're not expecting. I don't know.
right,
Maybe that's going to be interesting. It's funny. You're saying that's the 305 game, so that's not
uh-huh.
airing nationally.
Yep.
But maybe it should. Or no, no, it can't against
Well,
us.
no,
I
because
just
it's the
saw it.
Chiefs.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No, 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 no. I
yeah.
saw that.
Right, right. You
No,
walk
no.
that back.
But yeah, out of the games I see at 325, Chargers Raiders that could be 305.
Yeah.
Um,
And then the other one's LA Rams and then Seahawks, which just all
wow.
right, cool.
No, no.
Congratulations. Now my 3 games this week, obviously the Cleveland Texans one will be really interesting for off the field reasons, but my other 3 games, so Jacksonville, Detroit. I think this is going to be a lot better than a lot of people would expect. So expect one of the teams to be shut out and me be completely wrong there, I'm sure.
Or probably.
Because both of those teams have been punching above their weight lately, I feel. Jets Vikings, pod favorite Jets, of course, going against a 1 p.m. Kirk Cousins. So, uh, you just
I
don't know
figured
what
that
you're
way.
you just you don't know what you're going to get there at all. So,
Yeah,
that should be a really good one. I'm sure the Vikings will win, just because they are on paper the better team. But if White can play like he did this last week, the Vikings might be in trouble.
yeah.
Um, and the other big one too, of course, is I can't believe I'm about to say this because like 6 months ago, if you told me I was going to say this, I would have told you you're crazy. Washington Commanders against the New York Giants.
Just showed the NFC East playoff picture on the screen. All four teams are currently in the picture. So the Giants, Washington, and what's it called?
You can do
The
it.
Cowboys
The
are all in the
Cowboys.
wild card. We're all in the wild card round right now.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, this game matters.
This
This
game
game
matters a
matters.
lot, and they're playing well. It's
Yeah,
just absolutely insane to me. Like I think we had all even partway through the season were writing the Commanders off, saying, okay, yeah, the NFC East is better than we thought, except for the Commanders. They're 7-5. I mean,
yeah.
they're doing good.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I like up to this week I was talking trash, and then yeah, they've been winning games. They have a winning record. Now they're still it's still the Commanders, man. You saw
Yeah.
Uh that Sean Taylor tribute statue.
Huh.
Oh, you didn't hear about
No,
this?
I didn't hear about this.
Man. And it doesn't help that this is audio. Like it will look better with a visual, but I definitely, if you're listening, people, and you happen to miss it, look this up. Look up the Sean Taylor statue that they unveiled this
Is it
week.
ugly?
It's not a statue. It's a mannequin with a Sean Taylor jersey on, and not even not even game accurate. It's not like it's not a Reebok jersey. It's like they went to the Nike shop, bought Sean
Yeah,
Taylor
they just
jersey. They
went
didn't get the yeah, they
they
didn't
went
get
to
the
the
tape on
Goodwill.
it.
I'm looking at this now. They went to the Goodwill for sure. What is
Yeah,
this? Wow. Yeah, of
like
course. I googled Sean Taylor statue, and the first thing that pops up is like Washington Commanders epic fail, and I'm like, oh great. Yeah, this is not a. Uh,
the franchise is still a hot mess, but the team on the field,
on the,
they're decent. They're pretty good right now.
they are. They are. They're playing. They're playing way better. I mean, never in a million years would I have guessed 7-5 for them. That's 5-7 maybe. They're out there doing their job. So It'll be crazy. It'll be crazy to see how that game goes. If I had to pick one to watch, it'd probably end up being the Vikings Jets. But if it doesn't get broadcast and instead I'm watching the Commanders Giants, I'm not going to be mad about it.
We on that zone, so I'm gonna watch a little bit of all of them. I actually do think if we can move on to one of the next ones,
Please.
I do think this Eagles Titans will be entertaining.
You know, yeah, I'm kind of at that point with the Eagles right now where it's like I feel like they're just better than everyone left on their schedule. So I'm not even really thinking about their games anymore. I'm just assuming they're going to win. That's probably a bad thing to be doing. But I'm just like, okay, yeah, the Eagles are playing. Okay, so they're going to be what, 11 and 1 now. They're going to be 12 and 1 now. They're going to be 13 and 1 now, you know. I am the way they've been handling their opposition, I'm almost to the point where I'm genuinely surprised they're not undefeated still. Um, I don't.
I I
Sorry.
hear you.
Mm,
I hear you. But the Titans aren't bad. We
no.
played them a couple weeks ago. They're 7-4, and Vrabel got that defense. You don't think he's keyed in on this team right now? I could see this being more entertaining than we're probably giving it credit for. Which to me, to be honest, that may just be me and you. I bet you
Hmm.
there's a lot of people actually interested in this game.
No, I'm sure there is. I think a lot of this will hinge on Tannehill, just like it always does. I mean, obviously Derrick Henry's going to run roughshod because he runs roughshod over everyone, and their defense is really good. I don't think you can beat the Philadelphia Eagles with just defense and run game. You definitely need you're going to need to have some passes in there. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
hard to judge because the only time I've seen them play live is when they played the Chiefs and Tannehill wasn't playing. So it'll be it'll be interesting. You know, you're right. It's probably going to be a lot closer than I'm initially giving it credit for. And Vrabel does do a good job, but I mean, didn't they just lose to the Steelers? So that's who they lost. Or did they? No,
They-
maybe I'm way
they
off.
lost. I mean, who did they lose to? They've
They
lost to
lost.
us.
Let's see
Uh,
here.
they no, the Colts lost to the Steelers.
Colts lost to the Steelers this last week. I feel like they played the Bengals and they lost to the Bengals. I think it was.
Yeah, which again, I think the Bengals are trending up. And yeah,
Hmm.
you're right. That was that game, but I think the Bengals are trending up. But I will say to your point about the Eagles, probably continuing their dominance. This is also quote unquote the AJ Brown revenge game.
Oh, do love those. Do love a good revenge game.
He's coming back, so yeah.
It's coming home.
He said skipping Monday night. Yeah, we
Yeah,
gonna be. We already
I'm
talked about
skipping
that.
Monday night. Are you kidding me? I'm gonna be
Yeah,
doing nothing Monday night. I'm like, oh, there's a football game on. Who cares? I'm not gonna watch
right.
that thing. And all right, hey, we got RMR in chat. Do we pull him up for the end of the Bills Patriots? Get his last final thoughts before we sign off this podcast.
Yeah, we can. There's a couple other things.
Oh yeah, no, okay. So let's hear it from you first, and then we'll get his live reaction if
Yeah.
he wants.
Well, I just wanted to say the King had an error this weekend.
Uh-oh.
Congrats, congrats to Pat Mahomes, man, for Pat
Yeah.
Mahomes 3. Bronze
Bronze,
Mahomes.
Bronze Mahomes. Yeah, no, it's a good point. I just honestly I forgot about it. I feel so bad about that. No, yeah, Bronze Mahomes the third. So let's go. Let's see it carrying the tradition on. Um, what do you think? All right. So obviously Patrick Mahomes the first baseball player. Then number two is football. Does Bronze go football or baseball, or does he like really surprise us and come out as a basketball or soccer player?
It could go
Oh man.
it could go either way. So, it's like you got like you got Michael Jordan, right?
Uh-huh.
Jordan is Jordan, right?
Jordan
Marcus
Jordan.
Jordan. Marcus Jordan is not Michael Jordan. Marcus Jordan is. I mean, I feel like he's done well. He's successful and carries his dad's name well. Working as part of the Jordan brand, like he does uh like he's part of the sales side and everything. But you didn't hear his name on the court.
No. No, I
Yeah,
honestly didn't even know he played, so
yeah. No. So there's that. But then you got LeBron James and his son, who's not in the league yet, but it's like all but guaranteed, Bronny,
Bronny, yeah.
Bronny Jr. Yeah. So, I don't know what the correlation. I don't know what it's like. Guys, kids are either like beast or a bust. But just thinking about the Mahomes family, yeah, you had his dad who was in the MLB. You got Mahomes in the NFL. And
And
Mahomes is also pretty good at basketball. So yeah, it could be the point. I guess where I'm going with this is like, is the kid going to be a baller or is he going to be a bust? Like, I think he's going to. I think there's no doubt that we're going to see like Patrick Mahomes the third as a top five player in
and something, yeah.
one of the five leagues, right?
Because
you know?
don't forget, Brittany was also a professional soccer player too.
Oh, dude, he's yeah.
So he
This
got the
kid's gonna be
genes.
this kid's
Yeah.
gonna be a beast.
He's
Kid's gonna
gonna
be
be
a
something
beast,
else.
dude.
Him and his sister both are gonna like just, yeah, exactly, just carry on the family name for sure.
Gets drafted by the Raiders.
Oh, you know what? Disown him, disown him. We don't even know him anymore. Yeah, if he goes to the Raiders, sorry, dude. Oh man, keeping
Can
that away.
and can I bring up one kind of
Please,
serious
let's do
subject?
it. Yes.
I was curious. Like we could just talk about this real quick. Do you have any thoughts on the Jerry Jones photo?
I know nothing about this, so I'm gonna pull this up, but break it down. What's up?
So apparently there is well, not apparently. It's confirmed that there's a photo circulating around of Jerry Jones that's resurfaced from him in the
Is it
60s
LeBron?
at a protest trying to, prevent desegregation for Arkansas schools. So you see some black kids trying to enter the school, and then you see a bunch of white kids blocking it. So in the picture you can see Jerry Jones. Now he's not up front in the picture, but he is pretty clear visibly in the photo. And so this week in the sports world, there's been a lot of shakeup around that. There's been different thoughts and things going around about it. Jerry himself said he was just curious. He didn't really understand what was going on, and he just
Horse
kind of went to
shit.
see what.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, he got yeah. Well, that's what he said. And then of course, like you just mentioned LeBron James. LeBron's like, hey, so why y'all not asking me about Jerry? Like people were saying like, yo, what's up? Like this is a big deal. You got people wanting him to come and say a little bit more, maybe denounce racism, things like that. Um, I'm of two minds on it. I'd like to definitely. I mean, you're just not hearing about it, but I guess what are your thoughts on kind of hearing this?
So yeah, and I'm doing a quick read through too of everything. First and foremost, I think if anyone's surprised that Jerry Jones is slightly racist, they haven't been paying attention ever, right? He has a huge history of never hiring black coaches. He's always been slightly accused of racism here and there, and he's a good old boy from the South, right? Now, of course, he's never said anything overtly racist that I can even think about or anything like that. And nobody's ever like caught him on film, I guess, up until now of doing something like that. But it's he's one of those people that's like he embodies exactly what is. I don't like using the word wrong because I don't want to blame everyone, but he embodies exactly the negative aspects of the NFL where he's an old, ridiculously rich white dude running an NFL team. And the NFL, and he's probably the most powerful owner, right? He's got to be, because
Most
I mean,
most
because
valuable franchise
the Dallas Cowboys is the most valuable franchise in the entire world still,
in
I believe,
sports,
in
not even
sports. Yeah,
NFL, just sports
not
period.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So he has the ability to make the momentous shifts we've constantly been waiting for not just in the NFL but just in sports in general, and he's never done it.
sure.
This is also a photo from 1957, so uh,
Yes,
you know okay, I
yes.
don't believe him that he was just curious what's going on. I'm sorry. What was happening in Little Rock at the time with the desegregation of schools, the president had to literally activate the National Guard and send them in order to allow these kids to go to class. You are not showing up to this protest wondering what's going on. You're showing up because you're protesting what's happening. Or you're, at least involved in some aspect with the group of people who are there. As at the end of the day, you didn't have to go, period.
Didn't have to be there.
So yeah, but it's I mean, if we're going to continue to blame people for stupid choices they made as kids too, though, I don't deserve to have a voice on the internet, because I made plenty of stupid choices, and I'm sure every single person who's out there listening to the podcast can relate to one or two they've made themselves. Um, it's a tough spot to be in. Uh, if it was a lot more recent, I think it's a lot more impactful. At the end of the day, I don't know what you're going to expect to be the outcome here. A 1957 photo of him showing up at a school in Little Rock protesting desegregation. In what world is that going to make him sell the Dallas Cowboys, which is probably the only negative thing that can really happen to him right now? The brand's not going to be impacted at all whatsoever. It's going to continue to be the most valuable sports franchise. NFL owners aren't going to force him out. They wouldn't have the ability to because he runs the NFL basically. Uh, it's
I think. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I think it's just one of those things, and how much of this can I even talk to too? Because I'm a white middle class male, right? So I think I'm more curious your opinion, other people's opinion that maybe have a little more impact in this. You especially you live in Dallas, so yeah. What are your thoughts here?
And I can actually keep it kind of short because I think what you just said was, beautifully said. Like I think you made some great points, and I agree completely. I don't want to be held accountable for stupid things I've done as a kid, and 65 years ago or whatever, how long ago it was. I mean, that's a long time. Not 65 years ago. I'm sorry. When was it?
It's almost it's you're right. I think
It
yeah,
was
that's
65 years
65 years
ago.
ago. Yeah.
65 years. That's a
God,
long
he's
time,
old.
man. He is an old man. He
He's
is
an
very
old
old.
guy.
Yeah, still kicking it, man. Still going to these games and stuff. But it's a long time ago, man.
Yeah.
People, grow. Like people change. The country changed in that time. So I don't want to hold him accountable for that by itself. Like, look, I mean,
Well,
in
and
my
yeah,
it,
that's to cut in that pulling off your point there.
yeah,
It was 65 years ago. There was a different time. It was a time when it was legally allowed to be racist and discriminatory and
100%,
all this. I mean, it's separate but equal, like had just been
100%.
struck down in Brown versus Board at this time. So yeah, using the argument it was a different time is a tough thing to do to justify current behavior. But you know, um, let people change too. Yeah, like you were just saying.
Let
So.
people change. Let people change. But also, to your point, even if you go into Jerry's recent history, that's not really a strong argument that by his actions that he has changed. So
Hmm.
I guess my thing is now that this is out there, I mean, you probably should have done something before, but now that this is out there, where do you go from here? Are you just gonna make this statement and then just hope it brushes under the bridge, or are you gonna kind of see why this is problematic and see that you are one of the most powerful people in you are, yeah, one of the most powerful people in sports and have the ability to make some real change and maybe take this as an opportunity to do so, just knowing that this is no longer who you are, if it's no longer who he is. So
It
maybe a lot of people are right that he's never changed. Again, I don't know how much I'm holding people accountable for things like they did long mistakes they've made a long time ago, especially myself. We
mhm.
grew up and we went to Kansas together and things like that. I've made mistakes like back in school and stuff like that. That I'm not the same guy that I was when we were in our 20s. So
Right.
who knows? Where does he go from here? I guess is what I want to see.
He's walked the walk now, or sorry, he's talked the talk now. He says that's not me anymore, all that kind of stuff. Now I want to see him walk the walk, right? Like, okay, it's a little too late. I think we were talking about this even over the summer with the whole Deshaun Watson thing and everything. Is that now he needs to prove that he's sorry for what he did and not sorry for being caught doing what he did.
1,000%.
and
Yeah,
and so
1,000%.
it's the ball's in his court. It does. We can talk till the end of time. It was 65 years ago. Is legal then. Blah blah blah. All that kind of stuff. That no longer matters as long as he comes out and does something truly, genuinely impactful. Um, I'm not holding my breath. Honestly, I don't think he will. I think he's just going
I
to
just did.
ignore it until it goes away.
He's gonna try to let it make it go away. Yeah, for sure.
He's just going to
Absolutely.
wait another 3 days before either Elon Musk, Donald Trump, or Yi says something, and
Which
then
they
no,
already did
he
today.
already
We're
did,
not even gonna get into that, but
right? You know, and Jerry Jones covered because there's three much larger
yeah.
morons out there that are going to take care of business for him. No
Yeah.
problem whatsoever.
You're right. He's like, I'm good.
I'm good. He's calling Kanye
Oh
up right now, asking him to say
God.
something. So, you know.
Yeah, we're not. Oh my
Oh my
God.
God. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's.
Is Armhar in the chat still? Can we bring him up?
Oh man, I haven't seen him post anything in the Discord, so we'll let it sit for now.
Yeah.
Um, Patriots game did end. They did lose. What was it, 24-10? Is that the final score? So, um,
24-10. Oh, it looks like he's in there.
oh, is he good? All right, all right. What are we doing?
Wait, no, or am I looking at? I might be looking at an old
No, you're
message.
good. Yeah. All right, let's bring him up
Um,
real quick if he wants to. And just cap off the night with a little bit of actual Patriots fan opinions. How did the game end for you there, Roger?
Bro, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm still in the dark ages, bro. It feels like the lights haven't turned on. I don't know. We scored 3 points at the end, so
Hey, there you go. Positivity.
got the ball into opponent territory, man. It's a good day when you get the ball into the opponent territory, in my opinion.
yeah.
Shoot, I'm sitting here like, oh man, I'm having flashbacks to like Chiefs fandom 20 years ago now. You saying that, it's like just happy to have the ball in their territory. That's funny.
Yeah.
Respectfully, man, you guys y'all have so much. I mean, you probably have like a week's worth of championship gear that you could wear every single day of the week.
Bro, that's how it literally is. That's how it literally was going to school, bro. Hey, you got the 2004? Oh man,
Oh, I believe it. Yeah, it's like y'all got options. Y'all got options. We get 54 and 4. You know how uncool it
bro, I'd be
was.
shocked, bro. I mean, bro, like I feel like it's like if the ball is in your court, like you guys would have to lose, like it's in your hands, bro. It's like your rings to lose. I think in the near future, like it's pretty like that's how I see it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, like no, speaking of, it's funny you brought up the high school thing or going to school or whatever. Like I remember one time I bought like a Chiefs Super Bowl 4 hat and I wore it to school. I got clowned so hard for that because remember I live in Dallas where they have they're real proud of their 5 Super Bowls and I came in with Super Bowl 4. I don't think any of us were alive. Even my parents weren't alive for that. So they're like, "What are you doing?" Hey, so
Oh, that's too funny. That's great.
yeah.
All right. Well,
But
hey, happy that we got 3 points on the board. That's what I like to hear. A little optimism.
hey, I mean, they're
I,
still what? They're 6-6 now.
bro, it's like yeah, they
Seven,
actually just did
six.
really good. They've just done really good against beating bad quarterbacks. I don't know if like that's like it's like they're just like they don't win games, but they don't lose games. If you get what I mean, like.
Right.
They'll do enough to like where like the other team kind of just defeats themselves, and then that's more than enough. But
Well, what was it?
yeah, that's
The week before this one was when you guys played the Jets and you won off a last second punt return. Was that it? It was a
yeah,
10-3
yeah,
scoreline. Yeah. Just like
yeah.
that, that's how the Patriots are winning right now. And hey, sometimes it works. And against the Bills it doesn't.
Well, I'd say y'all still got time to, I mean, make a run in, if not, at least play spoiler in the AFC East. I mean, it is a tough division this year. That's no question.
I mean, I didn't actually even expect the Dolphins to be that good, to be honest.
I
Like
don't
that
think,
can be
I don't, I don't think anyone did.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone did. Like for real, even with the addition of Tyreek Hill, there was concerns about Tua's health. So like going in.
yeah.
So yeah,
And that guy,
I'm.
Mike McDaniel, he's like a genius, bro. Like all like he makes it like so look so easy, bro. Like I don't know. Like even if you watch too, I feel like a lot of his throws are like underthrown and like, but like the quick yard after catching that Tyreek does and like fits him perfectly. Like
Yeah.
and then they did a seems like they made a big trade. I think also for the Broncos linebacker to like try to really like make a push.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because it was really surprising that the Broncos got rid of him. Is
Oh, Bradley Chubb.
yeah,
Oh
Bradley
yeah, bro.
Chubb.
I'm
Yeah.
actually just glad I'm not. I'm actually just glad that I'm not watching. Like, have to just listen to Broncos country. Let's ride. Like, as a fan.
It's been so sweet. It has been. It's been so sweet.
Thank goodness.
Like that, like actually, like this is bad. Actually, like is like I don't know, man. Like that's something else, bro.
It's
Like what was he cooking, bro? What was he cooking, bro?
I just can we talk about this real quick? Like, can we talk? Like, what is up with this? Like, was he this bad last season in Seattle? I just don't feel like this Cliff was like, I don't know if you guys remember when Max Kellerman was on First Take.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
every season he was talking about like Tom Brady would fall off a cliff. Now Tom Brady ain't crisp this year, but he's not. I wouldn't say he fell off a cliff.
Mhm.
Russell Wilson fell off a cliff. Russell Wilson jumped off that cliff.
And it felt
I think
face down,
Seattle knew. Yeah, no, I think Seattle knew it, man. Like, bro, like I feel like they openly knew like that like when like they traded him, bro. Like you guys are in for a big surprise. Like
Yeah.
I think they did like a lot of things to like mask it. Like
Uh-huh.
and then but I think Russ like I'm not gonna like say anything about anybody's like character, but like people like have openly said like yo like this guy's like full of himself. Like he just doesn't like
He's toxic. He's a toxic
yeah,
personality.
he's like, yeah, like he didn't accept accountability, and now like they said, all right, Russ, like you're gonna be like the engine of like this new thing, and then like I don't know, man. Now he's just got this Broncos country let's ride thing, and I don't know, man.
Well, and to keep referencing the Kelsey Brothers podcast, they were talking about how Pete Carroll's really a great, like players coach, and he's got like that teaching background too. He's got a teaching degree, master's in teaching even. So how much of it was him being able to handle the childish behavior of Russell Wilson, and now he's in a completely different environment with no parent, watching over him, and so yeah, we get this just absolutely crazy maniac of a human being who can't play football. It turns out.
Yeah, and I would
Yeah.
I kind of, from what I can see, right? And again, going back to the Kelsey Brothers podcast, we're not that show, but they had an interview with Mahomes today, and they also had an interview with kind of Jalen Hurts a couple weeks before, and you can just see the camaraderie, right? These guys care about their guys. Like they took an effort to kind of build bonds with their teammates, which it doesn't seem like it's clear that Russell Wilson didn't do in Denver. So yeah, I would think that's part of it too.
You see the clip where like he was talking how Matt Nagy was like he wasn't he like the offensive coordinator, and then like he like it was like him and Mahomes were having a meeting or something like that, and then like Mahomes said like, "Yo, I'm going to Kansas City" or something like that, and then like team told him that they was going to draft him.
Yeah,
I forget like the whole like the optics, but like he said something like that, and then immediately I think Kansas City took him off the board, like something like that. Like he wanted, yeah, like he was always bound to go. So like, and then like they like made sure they got him.
It was something along the lines where he'd send him a message. He's like, "Hey, you better grab me. I might not be here much later." And so yeah, they went and got him. So yeah, definitely, yeah, we'll plug them, right? That's the team, right, that we talk about. So go check out the in the what's it called, New Heights podcast.
New Heights podcast, yeah.
Worth
Yeah, I see snippets of it on Twitter and like yeah, I see snippets of it on Twitter, like clips of it. I haven't seen the full episode, but
I enjoy that one, and then I enjoy Shannon Sharp's podcast. He just had an interview with Michael Vick that I thought was pretty good.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to check that out.
I think
my favorite players podcast is I don't know if you've seen, but like All the Smoke with Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes.
Listen to it. I've seen it. I haven't listened to it.
Never heard of it. I might have to check that out.
It's on HBO Max.
Okay. All right. I'll check that one out for sure. Cool.
Quick little bits because I know we've been running long. We gotta get up out of here. The Big Hat has made another appearance. They're wearing one on Thursday Night Football right now. So
I love that hat.
We might have to get some for the podcast. State of the Kingdom Big Hats.
Oh please. I will buy one.
And Antonio Brown. We'll have to revisit. We don't have time tonight, but that man is he has a warrant for his arrest.
My mother, who's one of the most disconnected people from football, if it's not the Chiefs, texted me today saying Antonio Brown's up at it again. And I'm just like, okay, he must really have done something if my mom hears about it.
Yeah.
Man.
So
he's a character.
Let's go ahead and make our predictions.
Yeah. All right, you want to join us for predictions on the Chiefs-Bengals game?
Oh, actually, like I don't know. That's a good one. I'll go 31-28. I think it'll come down to the wire. Chiefs probably like come down to a game-winning field goal. I think it's gonna be a close one.
Ooh, okay. So you said Chiefs 21, sorry?
31-28.
31-28. Love that. All right, Raw, what are we feeling?
And I said earlier, I think it's going to be a lot closer than people expect. I don't. I do think it's going to be a little bit of a shootout, but I'm gonna say like 28-24 or something like that.
24. All right. Well, hey, you've had the best prediction yet. So after
I did
that, you
one.
being off by 2 points there last week. Me, yeah, I'm gonna go a little higher. I'm gonna go say a little maybe 34-24 kind of thing. A little 10-point split
Okay.
there. I think it's gonna be a fun game. I think I don't know. It's gonna be it's gonna be interesting, just all depending on what offensive line shows up. So hey, if they can protect Joe Burrow, it's gonna be a lot closer. If they can't, let's see Clark and Karlaftis get just sack after sack.
Yeah, let's get it. Well, yeah, it'll be a good week. Football coming up. We'll have some fun games. And of course, we'll see y'all. Oh, did you see Black Panther?
No,
Yeah,
Oh
I
my,
loved it. I loved it. It was awesome, bro.
awesome. Yeah, we'll have to.
I need
We'll
to
have to
go
have
see
Yo,
it.
it took place. It took place. I was shocked that it took place in Boston. I did not know it would take place. Part of it would take. Oh shoot! I didn't even. All right, my bad. I didn't. I shouldn't even say. I didn't
Oh,
realize.
it's
You
all
know
good.
what?
No, it's all good.
My
You know
bad,
what?
man. Oh my.
This is a good time to plug the sideline discussions. That's one I want to talk about. So maybe we'll table that. People, we like to have special, separate shows not related to football. We're just kind of shooting the breeze. There's just topics that interest us. So keep an eye out for the sideline discussion. We might have to,
What
once
am I
Billy
doing this
sees the
weekend?
movie.
Yeah. What am I doing this weekend? Maybe I'll make an extra effort to go see it this weekend then.
You have to see that or Violent Night. That's what I'm
Oh,
going to
dude,
see.
Violent Nights! I'm so hyped for that one. I
Yeah,
can't
and have
wait.
you guys seen the menu?
No, I
No,
heard about it. I heard about it.
is it
Uh,
as freaky as advertised?
it looks
I don't know.
weird.
It looked kind of cool. It looked kind of cool.
It
Like
looks
Do love
weird.
I do love some Ray Fiennes, so hard to turn that
No,
down.
it looks weird in a good way. Like I'm curious. Like
Yeah,
I'm definitely curious.
exactly.
But yeah, y'all, we will definitely be back next week to talk some more football. So everyone have a good, safe week. Have fun and go Chiefs.
Go
And I
Chiefs.
guess Patriots too.
Yeah, good.
But
All right, it
Oh
was a
yeah,
good
yeah,
try.
yeah. Participation. Yeah, man. Participation.